Hey everybody, John Huber here, Maryland Education Network, brought to you by Maryland K-12. Baltimore County is back in the news again, and unfortunately it's not good. There's two things going on here. One is Towson High School. Towson High School has been the target of a lot of threats of mass violence. And it's got the parents and the students and the faculty and staff and administration obviously very uneasy. It's a difficult situation. Parents want answers, and BCPS is just a little reluctant to come forward with all of the details of a lot of the information. They want this big meeting. They want a meeting, a forum, a face-to-face thing. I got to tell you, it's been my experience that those things don't go well. Baltimore County knows this, and they probably don't want to do this. So they're trying to disseminate information the best they can as they work with the police, because it is a police matter. It's just difficult to tell parents that when they're kids, because by the time the kids come home, this thing has been blown, I don't want to say out of proportion, but you just don't believe what the kids, regardless of what the kids may think, they come home and they have their own version of what may or may not have happened. So anyway, that is a real issue in Baltimore County. And along the same lines, they just had this forum with, I was supposed to be with this Maryland Center for School Safety, but apparently not. It just ended up just being a basic a forum with parents and whatnot, and it was the typical education forum. You're in these groups, everybody writes things on the poster boards, and then they put them up on the walls, and then one person reports from each group. And there was a psychologist there, spoke for like 30 minutes on the brain development of adolescents and things of that nature. Good information, but that's not what people want. People want to know about the fights. They want to know about the threats at Towson High School. They want to know about transportation, overcrowding in some of the schools. This is the stuff parents want to know, and they hide behind these little these forums and things. And I'm not trying to bust on BCPS a little bit, but I just wish they would be a little more forthcoming. They did start to, they meaning the parents, started to, there was a clear indication of an understanding that it has a lot to do with the state and federal laws and regulations and whatnot about how schools can act in terms of discipline. That they're starting to get, and that's a tough one to get through sometimes to parents, because parents just think, well, just kick them out. If you find out who's doing it, kick them out. Not that easy. But anyway, Baltimore County back in the news. Towson High, very difficult situation, and I'll tell you why. Because the Oxford shooting, which just happened about a year ago, the principal, like just a couple of days before that horrible shooting, sent an email out to all the parents saying, these unsubstantiated rumors were perfectly safe. There's no threat. There's something, I'm kind of paraphrasing. I'm forgetting exactly what the words were. But man, and then 3 or 4 days or 5 days later, whatever it was, a kid goes in and starts shooting and kills like 4 or 5 people. So it's a very difficult situation. Everybody knows it. I don't know what the answer is, but the police are working on it. And the thing I think BCPS needs to do is they just need to be as honest and transparent as possible. They say they're being transparent, and you have to take them at their word, but it's hard. It's just hard. And I understand where the parents are coming from. Anyway, that meeting, the forum they had, those things are all the same. Nothing ever comes out of those things. They say, well, make sure you turn in your make sure you pass in your cards and your poster boards and all, because we're going to take these back to the office, and we're going to. No, they're not. they're going to look at them. There's no question, and then they might put them up on a website as some frequently asked questions. But they're not going to stand there in a public forum. This is what I'm getting at. They're not going to stand there in a public forum and entertain debates and entertain questions and discussion about specific things. They're not going to stand there and tell people at Towson High what's been said, what was threatened, and what the status of the investigation is. They're not going to do that because they're being told by people behind the scenes, this is not what you do. You speak in generalities, and when someone corners you on something, you say, well, we'll talk to you privately about that specific concern. And that kind of came out in them forums too, in that forum as well. So anyway, Baltimore County back in the news. If you have any questions, I'm trying to figure something out here. Shoot me email, text, phone, whatever you got to do. Let me know, and I'll see if I can get on it. Anyway, thanks. Have a great day.